All right, let's dive into a topic that's moving from something you'd see in a sci-fi movie to something that's happening right now on the factory floor. We're talking about artificial intelligence in the supply chain. And this isn't some abstract, far-off idea. It's a revolution that's changing how literally everything we use gets made and delivered.
And when I say revolution, I really mean it. Just to give you an idea of the scale here, look at this number. By 2031, the market for AI and supply chains is projected to hit almost $60 million. This isn't some small niche trend. It's a massive shift in how global commerce works, and it's growing at a crazy 40% a year.
And this quote from an industry analysis, man, it just nails it. What was once a kind of nice-to-have experiment for the giant corporations is now becoming a must-have tool for survival and for growth for businesses of all sizes. The question isn't if a company is going to adopt AI anymore, it's how fast they can do it.
So first things first, let's get the lay of the land. We're going to start with the 30,000-foot view. What exactly is this technology? What does it do? And who's really putting it to work?
At its core, it's actually pretty simple to understand. We're talking about smart software that can sift through these absolute mountains of data, sales history, shipping routes, machine performance, all of it, to predict what's going to happen next and then make smart, automated decisions. It's really about replacing guesswork with data-driven certainty.
And its applications are incredibly broad. AI is being used to predict what customers will want with just uncanny accuracy. It's helping optimize every single square inch of a warehouse, finding the absolute fastest and cheapest delivery routes, and even predicting when a critical machine on an assembly line is about to break down before it actually happens. Each one of these is a total game changer on its own. Now, what's really fascinating is which sector is leading the charge here. Let's zoom in and get a closer look at the factory floor, because it turns out manufacturing has become the #1 adopter of AI in the supply chain.
And this isn't just theory, okay? The companies that jumped in early are already seeing some huge, tangible rewards. We're talking about real numbers that you can take straight to the bank.
First up, a 10% reduction in logistics costs. Now just think about that for a second. By using AI to find the smartest shipping routes and pick the best carriers in real time, companies are literally slashing one of their biggest expenses. That's huge. And it doesn't stop there. Next, a 20% reduction in inventory levels. So instead of having warehouses just jam-packed with just-in-case stock, AI helps companies hold exactly what they need right when they need it. That frees up a ton of cash and cuts way down on waste.
And all of that, it adds up to this, a 4% average increase in revenue. See, by having the right products in the right place at the right time, companies avoid those frustrating out-of-stock signs, and they capture sales they would have totally lost otherwise. This is where you can see efficiency turning directly into growth. Okay, so you might be thinking, sure, this is a game for the corporate giants with deep pockets, but actually, the real story, the most interesting part, is happening on a smaller scale. Let's focus on how small and medium-sized businesses are using AI to punch way above their weight class.
Now check this out. What's really interesting about this data is that it comes from Australia, and it shows that small and medium-sized manufacturers are the leaders in AI adoption among all small businesses. A full 45% of them are already on board. This proves that AI is becoming this force multiplier, It's helping the smaller players compete with the big dogs.
Which, of course, brings us to the crucial question. If the benefits are so obvious, and the early adopters are clearly thriving, what's holding everybody else back? Why the hesitation?
So what it comes down to is this real tug-of-war. On one side, you have the challenges for small businesses. They don't have teams of data scientists, they're understandably skeptical about the return on investment, and frankly, a lot of them just don't know what's even possible. But on the other side, the momentum is just undeniable. AI tools are getting cheaper and easier to use, governments are offering support programs, and the success stories are piling up.
So, which side is winning this tug-of-war? Well, the data makes it pretty clear. Even with all the hurdles, a solid 60% of companies plan to increase their investment in supply chain AI. The direction of travel is unmistakable. The holdouts, they're quickly becoming the minority.
So, how does this actually translate into the real world? Let's get super granular for a minute and look at a business model that's popping up to help bridge this exact gap for smaller companies.
Okay, we're going to look at a quick case study of a specialized consulting firm. Its whole mission is simple: help small manufacturers adopt these powerful tools without needing their own team of in-house AI experts. This is what makes all that abstract potential feel really concrete and achievable.
So here's the blueprint. The model is flexible, some project work, some ongoing retainer work, all for small and medium businesses. The offer is crystal clear, will help you cut costs and integrate practical AI. They deliver with a mix of in-person and remote work, and they find clients through existing industry relationships. It's built on trust, not a bunch of cold calls.
But of course, no business model is perfect, right? The biggest risk here is that everything can depend on the founder, which creates a bottleneck. But there are smart ways to manage that risk. You build strong case studies to prove your value, you automate all the admin work, and you create simple, repeatable services, like a quick audit, to get new clients in the door really fast.
Okay, let's pull all of these threads together. We've seen the big boom, the impact on the ground, and even a real-world business model. So what are the key things you really need to remember from all this?
So what should you take away from this? First, this market is not just big, it's booming, growing at an incredible speed. Second, manufacturing is ground zero for this revolution. Third, and this is a big one, AI isn't just for the giants anymore, it's a powerful tool that's leveling the playing field for smaller businesses. And finally, maybe the most crucial point of all, AI has officially moved out of the lab and has become an essential part of business strategy.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether you run a business or you just rely on them every day, think about this. What is the single biggest risk, the single biggest point of failure or inefficiency in your supply chain, or the ones you depend on, that a smart, predictive AI could solve, like right now? The answer to that question could really change everything. Thanks for tuning in.